My name is Margarita Garcia, and most of you know me. I've been here giving a testimony of the glory of God. And in the past weeks, I've been in Argentina. God took me there to learn about Jesus, to learn about the importance of the times that we are living. And this past week, Kelly invited me to talk about the purity of God. And I pray and ask God, Lord, what do you want us to know about the purity of your Son in these times? What is important to know about Jesus' purity in these end times as his returns approaches? And 1 Peter 2:22 says, who did not sin, neither was gale found in his mouth. I was reading a text by Octavius Winslow, he's a preacher, and say that Jesus was purer than the cleanest glass, more transparent than the brightest sun. That was the character of Jesus. All it took was a clear eye from the blinding and distorting effects of sin to see even into the deepest corners of his heart, to see every pulse and read every thought, to understand the whole purpose of his soul. So open and transparent as a child was he. His enemies tried to trick him in traps, but he was too innocent to fall for it. The moral atmosphere of his being was too pure and translucent from impious purposes to find fault within. They could not provoke a single evil thought, no an evil desire, and no imagination in his chest that will lead a stain or a claw of that the truth of the wicked. They found no evil upon which their sinfulness could work. Impiety could not exist for a moment in such as a holy atmosphere. Meditate on the integrity and honesty of Jesus as the fulfillment of the prophecy of Isaiah 53:9. He never did evil, or was there deceit in his mouth. According to the Word of God, only those who develop a character similar to Jesus will remain standing in the most difficult time in the history. But what is character? Character is the internal motivation to do the right thing at all times, according to the highest standards of behavior, that is the Word of God. Character is made up of the stable and definitive qualities that are firmly founded in a person's life that determines the behavior in all circumstances. Character is what we do when we think no one is watching. Character dictates good behavior. Character is the wise response to the pressure of a difficult situation. Jesus highlighted 4 battles that will attack the character of many people in his church in the end times. These are lust, offense, fear, and deceit. And it's crucial to remain as pure as him if we want to stand and overcome them. I will give you some characteristics of these battles. Number 1, the battle of lust. It is disorder and unlimited appetite for carnal pleasures, excess or abundance of things that stimulate or excite the sense. Luke 21:34 say, be careful, or your hearts will be weighted down with cursing, drunkenness, and the anxieties of life, and that day will close on you suddenly, like a trap. Here we have to reinforce our character about being moderate and temperate and having self-control. Know how to say enough of this. This is enough. I don't want this anymore. Do not confuse blessing with ambition. We need to be a person who does not remain in searching of the blessing, but who go in search of the one who bless. Stop look for the blessing. Look for the one who bless. Not be superficial, but deep. Do not get drunk with the wine of this world. Sin is what we do when our heart is not satisfied with God. Young people say happiness is not the result of circumstances, but of character and communion with God. Number 2, battle of offense. Many will be offense with God and among the brothers. Look, our churches are become empty. There will be a lot of division due to the lack of understanding in biblical and prophetic times. Instead of uniting in the most important, the political causes and philosophies of the present will divide the church. The lack of clarity in the final picture will cause the church to start discussing the outlines. Matthew 24:10 says, "At that time many will turn away from the faith and will betray and hate each other." We need to work in a humble and gentle character. The character that doesn't get offended in the church in the end times. That character will be one of his greatest weapons in the midst of difficult times. For this, Jesus led us the only attribute that he himself highlighted that we learn from him: gentleness and humility. Be humble. Our humility brings us closer to Jesus to learn from him. And the meekness, the docility of our character that is manifested in how we treat others, connects us with other people. We need to learn from both his humility and his meekness in order to translate into our personal relationships and not let ourselves to be defeated by the offense. Philippians 2:3 says, "Let nothing be done through strife of vanaglory, but in lowliness of mind let each esteem other better than themselves." The lack of humility makes you arrogant, self-sufficient, and a seeker of excuses that try to evade your process and responsibilities. Number 3, the battle of fear. Many will allow themselves to be dominated by fear because of all the things that God will allow happening on earth, not understanding that God exposes sin before judging it. Luke 21:26 says, "Men's heart filling them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken." We need a character perfected in love. The Apostle John assured that perfect love casts out fear in 1 John 4:18. Jesus, in his letters to the churches in Revelation, linked the message to Ephesus to return to the first love with what was written in Smyrna, whose purpose was not to fall into fear. Revelations 2:1-11. Be in love. Be in love, being in Jesus to give love to others. Number 4, the battle of deception. Matthew 24:24 said, "For there shall arise false Christs and false prophets, and shall show great things and wonders, insomuch that if there were possible, they shall deceive the very elect." Matthew 24:11 say, "And many false prophets will arise and will deceive many." It's important to have a character of purity and integrity. Purity of heart is directly related to our firmness in the truth. On the contrary, those who do not keep themselves in integrity are prone to deceive and lies. Titus 1:13-15 say, This witness is true. Wherefore rebuke them sharply, that they might be sound in the faith, not giving heed to Jewish fables and commandments of men, that turn from the truth. Unto the pure all things are pure, but unto them that are defiled and unbelieving is nothing pure, but even their mind and consciousness is defiled. David connected the purity of his heart with the ability to learn the truth of his intimacy with God. Psalm 51:6-7 say, "Behold, you love the truth in the intimate, and in the secret you have made me understand wisdom. Purify me with hyssop, and I will be clean. Wash me, and I will be whiter than the snow." Some people think that the only way to maintain the purity of Jesus is with external spiritual acts, such as praying, reading a Bible, attending meetings, worshiping. All this is important, but many people do all things, and yet they don't live in acceptable spiritual cleanness before God. Seeking intimacy with Jesus, being alone with Him, and spending time in contemplation will lead us to be like Him. The more time you spend alone with Him, not making noises, just allow Him to talk to you. You will learn to learn what He loves, to seek what He seeks, and to maintain the purity that allows us to stand until He comes back. Looks like a lot of work, but don't worry, His Spirit is already in you. A third part of you is as pure as He is. That makes you powerful and give you the ability to transform yourself as His image. Just listen His voice. If you really are hungry of Him, tell Him you are ready. If you don't, just keep quiet until you are. Thank you.